Hey guys, welcome on into another beginner's guide to the Elder Scrolls Online video. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Desmondus. I am an Aussie content creator based on the east coast of Australia. And if you do like what you see in these videos, feel free to hit that follow button. Feel free to hit that subscribe button so that way you get to see when I'm putting out videos in the very near future. Tonight's episode, I'm really excited to dive into with you tonight. We're going to be focusing on, so what we've done so far is we've gone over the basics and we've gone over getting started with crafting, which is all well and good and very exciting, but I think now is the perfect time to get into a bit more explorative stuff, some more questing and getting yourself out there in the zones. So that's what tonight's going to be about, my friends. I'm really excited for it. I hope you guys are as well. We're going to be diving into, we're not going to be following storyline arcs, so to speak. I'll let you guys explore those for yourself. They're pretty self-explanatory. And we've gone over questing and stuff before, but what I did want to go over is a couple of world events or items on the map that could really help you understand what they are. So that's what we're going to be diving into tonight. So let me get over. Here we are. This is our main character that we've been playing with in the series, Silverclaw. So we're going to jump into him, and as we have normally been doing, it is based in Uridon. So if you have been following along and you have gone the same route I have and have started in the Abmiri Dominion and you've started in Uridon, or if you started in Kanathi's Roost and now you're into Uridon, you'll have a good idea of where you are situated, which is great. But if not, if you're starting in another zone, if you're starting in one of the other main factions, or if you're starting in a DLC zone, you might come across these things a little bit quicker than what everyone else has. So as you know, if you jump in straight away on your first time, you'll have dailies to grab. So feel free to get those ones. You can have a browse of what's on in the store at the moment as well. And obviously at the moment, they're celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Elder Scrolls Online at the time of this recording. So there is the anniversary Jubilee event on at the moment too. So we might just do that quickly so that way we've got it. What you will notice as well, my friends, is I've done a little bit of shifting around with my UI. I have made it quite small just to give a bit more space to the game itself. I felt like it was feeling really cluttered lately and I wanted to minimize that as much as possible. So don't stress if you can't see things in particular. I am going to call out shortcuts to bring things up as needed. But it's just something to be aware of for your own peace of mind. Now, okay, if we're going to talk about the anniversary Jubilee event, what we want to do is we want to head down to the docks. Now, I've already done it on this character, but I will show you where it is, so that way you've got a bit of an idea. If you are playing around the same time, you can do it as well. So basically it's just there's a basic quest you can do, and there's a whole pile of ins and outs about the event at the moment. But basically you come and see Mo here, the apprentice, and you follow his quest line, and then you'll get access to the Jubilee cake. And when you eat a bit of this cake, you get XP buffs, you get event tickets, all the good stuff. So I'm going to open my quick bar. I've already got it here, so I'm going to bring it out. I'm going to eat a slice. I've gotten my event tickets. That's fantastic, and we can get on with things. I'm going to eat a bit of food as well, and then we're going to get going. So let's go to the main waypoint location in Uridon, and then what we'll do is we will walk through a couple of the things that you're going to come across as you start exploring a larger zone like Uridon, and then we'll go from there. So here we are sort of at the start of the outskirts of town. Now, every sort of town, every sort of main town has an event merchant. The event merchant is obviously just outside of town here in Uridon. And if you're participating in events in game and you want to cash in your event tickets, this is where you want to go. This is where you're going to want to go. The impresario.
Is that a heroic?
That's where the event-based items are going to be, and that's how you'll continue that off. So that's the first thing. Second thing I want to talk about, and it's really good, really handy that we have this first up, is delves. Now let's make our way over to a delve. Delves are really good. Delves, let's just have a quick look. I've got a crown experience scroll, so I'm going to put that on as well. I recommend if you do have experience scrolls, using them, especially in early game, it'll help get boost your XP up a bit, which is always well and truly nice to have, especially at those early levels. That extra little bit of assistance is always nice. So I've got mine on my character so we can get those levels up a little bit quicker. So here we are getting close, and what you will notice is, if I zoom in a little bit, you'll have delves. You won't necessarily have sky shards unless you've got add-ons, and we'll probably cover add-ons in a coming video. But what you'll do is you'll see this torch icon, which is a delve, and usually delves will have a sky shard in them. So that's why I've got a sky shard over the top of mine. So delves, if you think of delves as your own little mini single player dungeon, right? There is a start and a finish. Sometimes the delves are looped, so you can come straight back out where the entrance is. But think of it as your own sort of single player dungeon to take on, and that's what they are, really. Some of them will have a quest line involved in them as well. There might be a story around it, around the actual delve itself. And the delves can be anything from a cave system to a Daedric shrine to alien ruins. There's so many variances out there at the moment, it's not even funny. But that's what we're going to tackle first and foremost. So the first one that we're going to have a look at here is Del's Claim. Del's Claim is the first one here. So you can come up straight up here, you can discover it, and then you can just go straight in to enter the delve, which is great. Gives you a little bit of an info onto the actual delve itself in the loading screen, which is always nice. And then here you are in the delve itself. Now, I've pressed M to open up my map, and as you can see, there is sort of like a circular path that you can follow to go around. Now, the other thing is there is going to be a boss of the delve. So think of that as like a boss in a dungeon. You're going to have an enemy at the end of the dungeon or in the middle of the dungeon that is a little bit more challenging than your average enemy in the game. So it's a good challenge to do, and if you complete that, you will also get an achievement in your achievements area of your game as well. So definitely don't miss out on doing those bosses in the delves, and don't forget to get those sky shards as well, which is going to be really handy, especially early on when you're working on getting your experience up and you're getting your levels up and your skill points up. So let's go through here using our skills to block and attack enemies. You'll also find other goodies, like you'll find lore books in here as well. You will find lootable crates and stuff that you'll come across too. So there's all sorts of goodies that you'll come across in. You might even come across... Oh, don't get away from me, how dare you. You'll also come across resource nodes on occasion as well. So there's a lot of goodies involved in delves. There we go, we're getting our way through it. Let's make our way down a little bit further. Now there is a quest that is in this dungeon, which is actually quite handy. A bloody journal. So the quests that are in these delves could involve being inside this delve to complete, or you might have to bring something back to a person in one of the cities. There's that thing there as well. So keep that in mind. What have we got here? We've got a bloodied journal. Mother, I don't know if you'll ever read this. I should never have left Matistan. The veiled inheritance isn't the honorable cause I thought it was. Some of them are real patriots, but most are just brutes. I can't do this anymore. Where am I going? We're going to Dell's Claim tonight, the old mine near South Beacon. They're going to kill the miners. I can't let them do that, can I? I have to stop them somehow. I love you, mother. Always know I love you. All right, so we're going to grab that journal and we're going to take it. It's the Repentant Son. So we're going to take that to Mathieson and hand that in at some stage, but we're not going to worry about completing that quest for tonight. I just thought I'd let you know that there are quests in here that you can take on and you can get experience from as well. So let's keep on going. Block when the heavy attacks come in, knock them off balance to do a bit of extra damage, and down it goes. Swap again. Yeah, excellent. So they've already gone through and started killing some of the miners, which is a bit of a shame. But let's keep on going through. Oh, here we go. All right. Let's see if I can show you something a little bit cooler as well. Let's see if I can do it. I don't know if I will, but we'll see. This is part of the vampire skill line, so we'll see if we can do it. Yep. Oh, let's run. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see. Damn it. Okay, let's try it again in a little bit. I'll try and see if I can show you the feed animation for being a vampire. Obviously, you may not be a vampire. You might be a little bit away from it. You don't have to get it straight away. There's plenty of time to come across it, so don't stress. It is more of it's not a beginner thing. If you do get it, all well for you. Good job. But you don't have to worry about it too much. All right, let's see. There's an enemy. Let's see if I can do it. There we go. How cool was that? I love me a good vampire skill. All right, with that out of the way, with that bit of excitement, I think what we're doing now is we are coming towards Polinius, who is the dungeon, the delve boss. So let's see if we can take him down. Making sure to learn everything that we know so far. Blocking heavy attacks, knocking them off balance. Use your ultimate if you have to. Block again. There we go. Polinius is down. And you will get some set items as well from that. So you'll see here, I got the Elegant Sash, which is part of the Queen's Elegance armor set. So defeating delve bosses will award you with set items at random. You will also get soul gems as well. So that's a good point and another really good reason to defeat those delve bosses, especially if you are a beginner player like you most likely will be going along this series. There we go. Let's keep on going through. Let's see if I can do a sneak attack here. There we go. That's better. There we go. All right, we're coming close to the Sky Shard, which is very nice. Now, you might not necessarily. I'm very lucky. I have add-ons that allow me to see where Sky Shards are, so I don't have to go looking for them. But you might need to look at what the Delve's riddle is and what the Sky Shard riddle is in this area to be able to find it out. And you might have to do a little bit of exploring within the Delve to track it down. So exploration is really key in ESO. So definitely don't leave any stones unturned. There's so much to discover and explore in ESO, and I definitely recommend you look in all the nooks and crannies to see what you can discover. There we go. All right, and there is the Sky Shard. Excellent. Block off balance. There we go. Sky Shard, excellent. There we go. I've got 2 out of 3, which is even better. Let's keep on going through this dungeon. I call them dungeons on occasion. I apologize. My terminology is not always correct. Go. Excellent. All right, let's see if I can get this one done. Let's get out of that fire AoE. Excellent, good job, team. Let's go again. Good. Interrupt to get rid of that skill, which is great. There we go. And now we're going back up where we started. Excellent. And there we are. We've done our first delve. How good is that, friends? Good job. I am proud of you. Heck yeah. Always loving to see it. All right, so now that we've got, as well, also keep in mind is if you do die, unfortunately, in a delve, what you will be is if you respawn, if you don't have any soul gems on you, you will be spawned back to the start of the delve, not back to the zone or last way shrine. You'll be starting back at the delve as well, so that's something else important to know too. All right, delves. That's delves. Excellent. That is good information to know about. All right, so what's next? Des, what is next on the agenda for beginner players? Let's see. Ooh, some wormwood. Let's pick that up. Okay, let's go to, not shrines, but statues. So you'll see here, we've got a Mundus Stone statue nearby. You might not necessarily see that pop up, but let me show you what it looks like as we get there. And you will see it on your compass up at the top of your screen, and it'll look like that. It'll look like this obsidian sort of jagged statuette in a certain location. And so what these are Mundus Stones, and certain Mundus Stones will give you different boons depending on what the Mundus Stone is. There are, I think there are like 12 Mundus Stones from memory, and there are the 12 Mundus Stones are scattered throughout the they're scattered throughout each alliance's zone. So every alliance has 12 Mundus Stones, if that makes sense, right? And so basically all you need to do is if you find the one you're after, excellent. But if you come up, you can go to the lady, you press E, and you can assign. You can then claim the Mundus Stone as your sign. And so I'm going to get a boon here that increases physical and spell resistance. So I'm going to grab that for the time being, but I might change that depending on what type of build I want to keep on doing. So let's keep on going. So the next thing, and I think there's one that's actually quite nearby, but what we'll do is we'll grab a waypoint on the way, just to make exploration a little bit easier down the track. There is a quest out there as well, but we won't worry about quests at the moment. I just want to worry about little details that will be really helpful for you guys as you're exploring zones. That's sort of what I want you guys to be sort of getting accustomed to, what the different things are in different zones and what they mean. So here we got way shrines. That's obviously the method of how you portal around places. But what you'll do is you'll come across zones, and you're going to have to excuse how messy my map is. I've got add-ons on. But there are points of interest. Points of interest. Striking locales are places of interest within the world. Discovering all of the striking locales in a zone will award the zone's Pathfinder achievement. So that's what they are, and they look like an open eye. So there's one just over here, so let's go pick that bad boy up. Monkey's Rest. Here we are. We've got Monkey's Rest discovered, which is excellent. This is always great to have. Now let's go on to something else that I want to show you, and it may or may not happen. We're just going to have to wait and see. It might take a little bit of time to discover, but fingers crossed it happens quickly. If not, I think I have something else that we can go and have a look at in the meantime. Let's get some mountain flower. Why not? While we're here. Excellent. Let's get this emerald. Okay, dolmens. Dolmens. This is a dolmen. This is an in-game, in-world event that will happen periodically as you play. There are a number of dolmens. So say for example, in Auridon, there are 3 dolmens. They are world events. These ones in particular are part of the base game, and they're called Dark Anchors. And they are activities that occur in the world that are best tackled with a group of adventurers. Completing a world event will reward you with experience, gear, and gold. So they're always worth doing. They don't happen as you approach them. They're on a timer, and they are random throughout the zone. They will cycle between each of the different dolmen locations. So that's something else to keep in mind as well. Now, there is something else I wanted to show you, but I think I'm a bit too far away before we can. So what we might do is, in the meantime, let's go get this other striking locale while we wait, and hopefully we don't miss out on the world event. But most likely, if you're playing the base game and you aren't in a DLC zone, you're going to come across Dark Anchors, and they are part of the main campaign storyline. You'll learn all about them and what they do. But we will go through what you need to do briefly while we have one. Basically, it's a challenge of defeating enemies that are in waves in order to destroy the anchor that's attached to Nern, basically. All right, so we've gotten this striking locale done, which is wonderful. Let's take out some sea vipers. Ooh, I'm not killing my enemies properly. Give me a second. There we go. That's a bit better. Let's get the maple. Why not? Okay, that noise is the world event happening. So you're going to have a number. You'll see it. See that massive thing there? We have got to basically dislodge that from this anchor point in Nern. So you've got to go around, you've got to defeat waves of enemies, and it can be a bit chaotic, so bear with me. There are... Let's go through this. There we go. Okay, you got pinions. You got to destroy all 4 pinions to then have the final boss of the dolmen disappear. So let's get through these enemies with everyone else. Can we can't do this one yet. Nearly. Okay, destroy this pinion. We've got 2 pinions down. There's a 3rd here. It's 1, it's 3.
Some of my pets are fascinated by the toys of mortals. Well, they should show them.
Let's destroy this enemy. That's a massive Daedra. And it goes down with a group eat quite easily. So we take down the last wave.
The plan
Excellent.
is in place.
Destroy the anchor pinion. There we go. Excellent. And there's a chest there with your goodies that we can grab. Get some really nice bits and pieces from that, which is excellent. Good job, team. Good effort. We've also gotten a level up, which is even better. Which how good is that? So let's claim that. We're going to choose one of these. Let's choose... Doesn't really matter, does it? We're not using those, but let's put our attribute points into stamina for our team, our particular class. Now, what do we want? Do we want Lotus Fan or Ambush? Converts to stamina ability and deals physical damage. It also grants you Empower and Minor Berserk. Targets in the area around the enemy take damage and afflicted when minor vulnerability. Let's go with the other one, ambush. See how that goes. Okay, excellent. Now I'm going to put some points into shadow as well. Excellent. All right. Sweet. What is next, Des? Well, I'm going to show you. All right. You're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to mount up, and we're going to do a little bit off the fly because I want to kind of show you it first. So let's get around here. Now, you might not have as fancy mount that I do. Those things, don't fret. They do take time and they do take a little bit to get. You can also, you know, if you do have the funds and you're willing to buy some crowns on the crown store, you can get different mounts that way. You can get mounts for pre-ordering. You can get mounts for Seals of Endeavor. There's all sorts of ways to get mounts. So don't stress if you don't have a fancy one yet. You will get one all in due time, my friend. So what you will come across... There we go. Down we get. So what you're going to come across in the open world is you're going to come across a group boss icon, which is a skull with two swords, crossed swords on it. That is a world boss. World bosses are, again, group-based content. Now, don't get me wrong, you can solo world bosses, particularly you can solo the ones in the base game. DLC ones are a bit more of a trickier beast. They tend to up the difficulty a bit more on those ones. But this is the location of a world boss, and it's really, I recommend if you're a new player, finding a team, finding a group that's going to help you take on this world boss, and I'll show you why. Let's give this a crack. You'll see exactly why. I don't even last 30 seconds. It is very difficult to solo these bosses, especially early game. If you're going to be tackling these bosses solo, you will need to be at end game level in order to do so. So don't fret if you can't do these by yourself. Get a group together to take these things on. So that brings me to my next thing, right? So Des, it's like, how do I get a group to take on these sorts of events, right? I've got good news for you. There is the Group and Activity Finder. If you press P on your keyboard, it'll bring up the Group and Activity Finder, and you can find group finders as well as for dungeons and all sorts of things. So the Group Finder is actually something that's very new, and it allows you to find groups that are doing the activities you are doing. So you can actually see group listings here that are already up, or you can filter the listings to find out something exactly what you're after quite quickly, or you can create your own group listing, right? Which is awesome. So say you want to find you're wanting to do some zone stuff in the group finder. We've already got a geyser farm. So someone in the Somerset Isles is doing world events and they're looking for a group to do it with. So you can do that there, or you can create your group. You can use your own. And here we can select, okay, what do I want? I want to do zone. I want to do world bosses in Auridon, up to 12 payers. You can do a group title. Put in a bit of a description. It's always handy to say, I'm a new player, I'm looking to get this stuff done. And then you can press create there, and then people will find your listing and he'll help you if they're interested in doing so. So that's a really handy tool to have, and that only came out last year. So it's a really handy tool to use if you're looking to get some of the world events done or world bosses done as well. There is one more thing I do want to go over, but we will tackle that in another video because I think it deserves another video, and that's public dungeons. So we'll talk about that in another video. What did you think, guys? Thank you so much for watching and bearing with me this time. I appreciate it. I hope you learnt a little bit about how to go about questing and how to go about exploring the open areas and open zones in ESO. If you have any questions, obviously, feel free to send me a comment or send me a DM. I would love to hear from you guys if there's something in particular you're struggling with and would like to know more about. I'm more than happy to help, my friends. So what did we do? We learnt about the anniversary event briefly. We talked about delves. We talked about points, striking locales, points of interest. We talked about world events, dark anchors in particular, and we talked about world bosses and the activity finder, which is even better. So guys, yeah, I really do hope that you found some value out of that. Let me know in the comments section what you think of the videos, or if there's anything in particular you want to see me cover. I'm more than happy to take requests on that sort of stuff, my friends. But that's it of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys. Have a good one.